Hey, can I ask you a quick question? Do you think it is morally okay for police officers to violently beat or kill a citizen just because they couldn't control them? Do you think it's morally okay for police officers to get hurt due to a lack of training? Today, I'm going to talk to you about why jujitsu should be required for police to learn to use in non-lethal situations. And as citizens, we can use this information to go to the voting polls and vote in favor of it if we agree with it. I personally have a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and I've learned how to control someone bigger than me, how to respect someone, and also how to overcome my problems and adversities correctly. Today, I'm going to talk to you about three main things. The first being, the majority of police are undertrained, which leads to bad situations, violent beatings, lethal killings. Next would be Jiu-Jitsu teaches control, physical control, correctly overcoming your adversities, and respect. And then number three, if Jiu-Jitsu was incorporated, it would be the beneficially less violent situation we need in a win-win way. So diving into point number one, there's a lack of training in police, and as a result, citizens get hurt. So in this first video, you can see
No, don't. We're skating on video. It'll be okay.
What did he do?
Hey, don't fight the cop. Don't fight
Don't
the cop.
fight
It's
the
not gonna stop. Oh!
okay, so as you can see, the suspect had a little bit of a grappling background. He was a wrestler. He did the fireman's toss over. He got on top of the police officer. He started beating him. And then as a result, the police officer got desperate. He pulled out his gun. You could hear the gunshots at the end. Killed him dead. No one wins. So in this next situation, you can see the problem in a different perspective.
Dramatic video leading to the suspension of 2 police officers. Police say a man reported seeing the suspect, Daniel Dunkelberger, reach into a car in Hollandale Beach, Florida, and steal a cell phone and a charger. That's when the officers confront the suspect, first with a taser, then with batons.
All right, so as you can see, just for stealing a charger, they tase him, they beat him, and as you can see in the strike, they probably permanently damaged his knees. They busted his knees, most likely. So now that you've seen the problem, let me show you what Jiu-Jitsu is.
Hi everyone, I'm Gustavo Gasperin, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor under the great Fabrício Verdun, and you're watching Jiu-Jitsu for Dummies. So what is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Jiu-Jitsu is a grappling-based martial art and self-defense system created by Carlos and Eddie Gracie.
Okay, so he just told us what Jiu-Jitsu is. He's the professor there is a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and he says Jiu-Jitsu is a grappling-based martial art that uses chokeholds and limb manipulations to control, with leverage to control someone who's physically bigger than you. So that's the control part of Jiu-Jitsu. Now, in this next video, you see how Jiu-Jitsu teaches how to deal with adversity, and you see how it teaches respect.
There's a lot of people that they learn how to deal with life through the struggle of jiu-jitsu, because the struggle of training is so much harder than most of the struggles that you face in your daily life. It makes you more accustomed to dealing with uncomfortable positions.
I will tell you a funny story that what jiu-jitsu does for you. My older daughter had some health issues like at 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that, and called the doctor and said, look, you gotta go and get this inhaler or something at the pharmacy. Man, I was wearing my pajamas, driving crazy to the pharmacy. And as I'm walking in, I have a guy walking out and bumping his shoulder of mine, and hey, son of a D's, F you. And I said, man, 2:30 in the morning, you wanna fight? Go home, go to your wife, dude. Then the guy, no, I'm gonna wait for you. Then he's outside, I go get the medication. I put this stuff in, said, man, get the guy outside. He's no longer there. Several months later, the same guy show up at my school. And I did not recognize him, but he keeps staring at me, and I approach, hey, how are you? Have you trained jiu-jitsu before? He's like, do you remember me? Did you train here before? No, I bumped into you in a pharmacy. And he goes like, thank you for not hurting me. And I go like, man, what happened to you? He's like, oh, my father passed away a day before. I was so depressed. So the point for me was, with jiu-jitsu, I can walk away for something like that, and I feel sorry for the guy.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned. Oh, I'm afraid of him. No.
See, so as you can see through the story, Joe Rogan and Gene are both well-known black belts in the jiu-jitsu world. And Joe Rogan says that, you know, you learn to deal with adversity, you learn to handle tough situations correctly. And then in the story, Gene says, you know, he learned respect. You know, when the guy came back at his gym to train, he said, oh, thank you for not hurting me. And he didn't say, like, get out. He said, you know, he respected him. And that's the mindset that I have personally learned through training in jiu-jitsu. So now that you see how jiu-jitsu could be beneficial, let me show you how jiu-jitsu is the solution.
After getting kicked out of the club for assault, suspects are confronted by Kansas City police officers, including Officer Jared Tipton, and Jared knows jiu-jitsu. Duck under double leg, frame to the neck, knee on belly, scans for additional threats, all while holding his hat in his left hand, north knee on chest, reapply the hat to the head, notifies partner that he's got it under control, Kimura cuffing transition, a GST classic, transition back to an elbow hug armbar, switch back to north knee on chest, calm communication with dispatch, manage the distance with the female spectator, once his partner's ready, elbow cup, arm drag to front headlock, figure four leg entanglement exactly as taught in GST, Kimura pain compliance, second hand extraction, cuffed and done, not a single punch thrown. Best part is, he's been a cop for less than 1 year.
Okay, so as you can see, this rookie cop has been training for less than a year, and he's already a pro at dealing with, you know, some guy, you know, thugging at the club, you know, gets kicked out for assault, and, you know, he just deals with it. Everyone wins, no one gets hurt. So you can see that in a different perspective in this next video, where this police chief is going out of his way to teach people this art to use.
His martial arts gym in Ludlow with more on his strategy. Brianna.
That's right. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu probably isn't what you think of when you think about your neighborhood police officer, but Police Chief Scott Smith says these are exactly the skills that police officers need.
Chief Scott opened this gym because he noticed a problem.
Oh, to watch it, it's sad. I mean, it's laughable, but it's sad.
He says that these videos from police departments around the country represent what police officers have to face in the field.
And that's what the community says. Why couldn't you take this one skinny guy down? How is it you couldn't control him? How is it ended in a shooting, right?
So he began offering free martial arts classes to officers.
Okay, so this police chief is going out of his way, training police officers for free, and the more on top of it, police are going out of their way as well to pay to learn this. So this should be required in standard police training. Now, they don't have to be masters of it, but they should have a slight background in grappling. This is the solution we need. It's a less violent, win-win situation for everyone, and it is done through, you know, it is needed because police are less trained than they should be, because it teaches good characteristics such as respect, controlling others that are bigger than you, and dealing with your adversities. And it is a less non-violent situation than, you know, beatings would be. So if you had the option to vote yes or no for it, would you vote yes or would you vote no? Thank you.